Oligarchs, internet entrepreneurs, new money billionaires are springing up faster than ever before. And with new money come brash new attitudes.
Wealth now doesn't mean 40, 50, 60 million. It means in the billions.
Generation hyper-rich has arrived.
It's kind of blingy and more out there than it used to be. It's like, you've got a 300-foot yacht, oh, but he's got a 500-foot yacht. Now you've got status anxiety.
You have the old money versus the new money. The individuals spending here, there and everywhere on everything bling and everything showy. Billionaires are the new celebrities.
And just like celebrities, many new money billionaires are not afraid to use fiction. And they want grand, iconic toys that scream, check me out.
Seems they've checked a box, such as yacht or plane or stud farm or mini stately home.
They have no background being rich or not the billionaire. I think it can become very, very stressful.
Well, there's a disorder now that they call quality situational narcissism. Middle class people just like really become billionaires overnight. They're becoming obscenely vain and drunk on their own self-importance.
They want to show that they belong. So that's when people start competing amongst, who's got their children in the store, who's got the little wife, who's got the better looking children.
We use about 1,500 liters of fuel an hour, and we have a capacity of about 7 hours of fuel. So every time we go at the gas station, we have to do about 40,000 euros.
40,000 euros every 7 hours. It's a rude awakening to even the most gung-ho of new money billionaires. It's one thing buying a mega yacht, but at the highest echelons of showiness, that's simply not enough. What sets the hyper-wealthy apart is their ability to build a new yacht to their own specification. And when you're that rich, you can have whatever you want. Well, within reason.
We had one client's wife who was wondering whether we'd keep a pony on the boat for her daughter. The idea was to have an exercising turntable at the back of the yacht on the aft deck. But they weren't embarrassed to ask the question. They thought it was a reasonable question to ask.
Well, I think it's fair to say they live in a totally different world. They are increasingly living in a bubble.
And I suppose the ideal lifestyle for the member of the super rich is James Bond crossed with the Bond villain.
We also had a client that wanted to have a shark tank, like a swimming pool with sharks in it. Well, the swimming pool would be half shark, half human, with a glass wall between the two. Again, I don't think that would be very kind to the sharks.
Employing specialist naval architects like Ed Dubois or Tim Hayward doesn't come cheap, and that's just the fact.
No one needs a yacht. It's the very last thing you actually.
You want to see your money actually vanish instead of buy a yacht.
Why not? If you're worth 8 billion, you spend 300 million on a yacht. It's not a lot of money.
Every super yacht is a one-off creation, designed and built with extraordinary craft.
I think of them, I hope it's not sacrilegious, I think of them almost as being today's cathedrals. Cathedrals of the Middle Ages, all the most sophisticated things on earth. I think our yachts are.
Amel's shipyard in Holland is where nautical dreams come to life. British yacht designer Tim Hale come here to see his latest vehicle.
It is remarkable to see this construct, having spent the hours drawing it.
66-metre yacht built over 3 years, the prize is, well, high.
On average now we talk about
Yes, that is indeed around 8 million euros just for the build.
you can turn the whole thing back again.
So, money really does make the world go round. Finally, you're ready to weigh anchor and get showy.
A yacht is for every owner a weapon of show off.
They want their yacht to be the biggest. And it causes them genuine pain when some other dude's yacht comes in and it's bigger than theirs. They feel they failed, even though they've got an enormous size yacht. Boats are, you know, how big? How big is one? Driven on that, I think it's all run quick.
Now, what more ways can someone else with a bigger yacht? I know there are a couple of billionaires when their yachts come together in Hampstead, just leave the other, squeeze across the water, mine's bigger than yours, mine's bigger than yours. It's a bit of a cockfight.
Well, let's see those nautical clocks and get fighting. Here are the world's current top 5 giga yachts. Number 5, Commodities, weighs in around 12,000 tons and stretches 147 meters. Number 4, Al Said, built for the Royal Family of Oman, measures 155 meters, accommodates 70 passengers and 154 crew members. Dubai at number 3, the richest committed by sea spending 24 million dollars. In 1996, construction grew around 100,000 tons. 5 years later, Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum finished the job. It's estimated that roughly all cars rose around the city cost nearly $1 billion. From a time counting once the biggest yacht in the world, it shrank in 2013 when an even bigger fish splashed into the pond. Launched in April 2013, Azam is this year's top of the yacht, and most yacht spotters reckon it's the same thing as the Emir of Abu Dhabi. This 94,000 horsepower vessel travels at more than 30 knots, which makes it not only the longest, but the fastest super yacht in the world. Coming up, playtime in paradise, the ultimate high-end toy for new money billionaires left out of control.
Just because you're super rich doesn't necessarily
There is this isolation that billionaires have to endure.
And starting the Supercars, Billionaire.
billionaire spends his whole life trying to accumulate wealth to escape society. And then when he gets there, he spends his whole time trying to reingratiate himself back into society.
There is this isolation that billionaires have to endure.
Just because you're super rich doesn't mean the super rich accept you. Because the pecking order among the super rich is quite stratified. So all the top of the people are the extremely well-educated, well-spoken, art enthusiasts. They do not feel that they are the same as the next super rich guy who owns a yacht, but has four friends together. I mean, the idea that you can buy up first of all, you're practicing 10% of the yacht which, by the way, is more than twice. On top of that, the men who come and put the little boats to the shop at the back and say, yeah, they expect to be tipped as well. So actually, unless you're very rich, you can't afford to be yourself very rich.
I think the unspoken contract between the host and the guest is that the guest is there in some way to entertain the host and the guest. And you've got to play the game. You've got to be part of the game. So you can suffer.
I was one time
last thing they want to see is somebody that's frumpy. They want somebody who's young, vibrant, attractive. She needs not to be oversized, because if you're a size 12 to 14, it's very difficult to do your job in a current manner.
You get all sorts of stories of stewardesses and captains, as well as stewardesses and owners. I think it's quite a common trap for girls to fall into. And those stories seem to be
But of course, not just
Every time I'm very happy.
As part of balance to the hyper-wealthy, Heidi and Bruno are accustomed to providing immediate gratification to some of the world's most demanding guests.
Mega yacht owners, when they decide to organize a party, it's always the
And they know his style, which can give them
Céline, comment ça se fait que tu commences à bosser avec toi sur un tableau écrit? T'as un problème, je te dis que t'as un problème. T'as un coup, quand tu savais que tu fallait que tu sois la main dedans et tout ça.
The pressure is on, and Bruno and Heidi prepare a huge wedding party for a princess.
21 euros. She's having a birthday party. She expects a lot. She's raised money. The whole family is raising money.
Have a look. Demande le prix
It has
pour
to be him. It can't be anyone else. Nobody else. And what about the dancers? The 5 dancers from Paris? Well, are they still coming? Raoul.
Je pense que tu peux trouver un.
We had one client who arrived with her baby and was going to her super yacht, and she forgot her baby monitor. So doesn't seem like a problem to you or I, but we said we were going by. No, she didn't want to board one. She wanted her own. So I had to charter a jet to Moscow to get her baby monitor. Baby monitor arrived and life.
4 hours till deadline, and now it's all hands on deck for a mad dash down the coast to the client's boat.
Go, go, go. Preston, what's going?
Everything's back now on next stop Monaco. I feel really at my best when I feel that pressure. It's like a drug.
Here we are in marvelous Monaco. The boat is here. We only have a small window of time where we have to get everything on board before it leaves the quay. All very exclusive, all very private, and all surrounded by bodyguards. It's a very discreet industry. In a funny way, these boats are so showy. It sort of contradicts everything that they want to be. So you have to keep it low key. We arrive, we install, we exit, and wait for the next project.
Coming up, not content with peer pressure at sea, competitive billionaires head for the sky.
When somebody feels good about spending the money, there is no limit to what they spend. It's very, very addictive. And once you start flying private, you will never stop.
The big thing now is to have your own airbus with a bedroom, with showers, with a gymnasium, or probably this little bit of golf course in it now.
To the outside world, the billionaire lifestyle is one of endless pleasure. They have yachts, and they have private jets, but flying toys, like all fabulous playthings, are only for the deepest of pockets.
Price could be anywhere from private jet, that sets the scene. It's an unspoken sentence. But I'm for real. I've got money. I can get the deal done.
Well, from what I can tell from my several experience on private jets was that mostly it creates an enormous amount of stress. I was once flying back from Czechoslovakia and I was offered a lift by this billionaire who had this plane to himself. He was being very kind to the rest of the guests, I'll give you a lift back. Well, all the people from British Airways got home in 2.5 hours. So 4.5 hours later, we were still circling around Gatwick.
After all, if you can't be them, join them. $13 million to spend on a second-hand 8-seater jet. Born salesman Steve knows the power of one-upmanship and heads next door to show exactly what a $300 million jet looks like.
So come on in here. You can experience actually a little bit bigger than the plane you're looking for, but it actually puts you in space of a little bit more, just a love story, but then more downtown. Keep doing it, that's good. I love what you got there. Come on in here. Have a seat. Thank you. Fantastic cabin. back into the dining room of the Airbus or the conference room, and it actually extends even further to the bedroom of the airplane.
No more sleeping.
You don't want to upgrade here?
Billionaires may claim their jets are just time-saving business tools. Being billionaires, they can't resist a little competition. In 2008, American billionaire Steve Wynn took private jet ownership to a new level when he decked out a Boeing 737.
One is talking more about new owners, involvement and culture, where physical wealth is important.
Speaking of which, 1 year later, Wynn was trumped by Donald, who took to the skies in his own Boeing 757.
You'll notice the seatbelt above everything else with 24-karat gold plated.
Then roaming Roman Abramovich claimed along, proud owner of his very own Boeing 767. But in 2007, there was a new sultan to the Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Al Saud. His Airbus A380 is estimated to cost over $500 million once his taste had been accounted for. But soon, of course, there will be one still better.
I think if someone developed a supersonic aircraft, I know a lot of people that'd be interested in buying one.
If super yachts are about billionaires playing host to privileged guests, then the private jet is the perfect place for the billionaire to entertain himself.
You can do whatever you want on it, because nobody's there to watch you.
Well, if you own the airplane, it's your audience. You know, you do what you like with that. Stars, threads, drugs, smash plays. You can't really throw the TV out the window like a rock star. Yes, you're on the road.
The jets are furnished often at the cost of millions to meet the owner's personal needs.
And we see them with the larger 747s, 777s, we see owners where they put in a cinema, the TV, they bring this dining, they kiss it out in the interior design, so forth. So basically, world to world. Some people, will just temper it with sand, furniture, the back of the some people from the Middle East will have a chair that's fully done by their company that's fully left.
But pilots must beware indulging the owner's every whim. The consequences can be fatal.
There is a story, true. The boss of a big company told his pilots he could not be late for dinner, and they had to land. And they missed the runway crash, and everyone was killed.
Coming up, billionaire competitiveness gets out of hand. Confessions of a car collector. And chaos ignites grid. It's not all fun and games being billionaire. And sometimes you have access to the facts of authority running by. Not also wonderful, constant reminder that always someone else out there lives with bigger and brasher plays. Super rich was the city. American billionaires back it out on the lead. Another time, people migrate to Knightsbridge in central London.
Within a 2-mile stretch, you can probably see 50 supercars. They've all got Arabic plates from Dubai, Qatar and Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of princes, royal family, a lot of millionaires, a lot of billionaires, and it's just a great sight to see.
It's fair to say that not everyone is thrilled the area's become supercar central.
You need to move out the bloody way. You need to go that way so that the traffic can flow out.
We're completely overtaken by these incredibly expensive, vulgar, outrageously noisy cars, and it's just too much. And I know so many of the locals who are actually, they're leaving town because they can't cope with it. It's just horrific.
It's it's a testosterone-fueled showdown as very rich young men race very expensive fast cars in a battle to win over the admiring hangers-on. For many, it's about pulling power through astonishing horsepower.
Between supercar owners, there's a lot of competition, so it's always a case of who can get their car featured on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube more, and how many hits they can get.
So you'd literally get girls coming up to the car and being like, hey, like, what are you doing, kind of thing.
I've seen one red Lamborghini have a number written on in lipstick on the windscreen.
I'm friends with a few of the supercar owners, and they do appreciate kind of the attention they get from girls.
I think the car is pretty good looking, very aggressive, so I like showing it around.
We have Maseratis, we have McLarens, we have a Camaro, we have a GTR. We can show off as much as we like, create some noise.
All the toys here are top end, so when your Ferrari just isn't cutting the mustard, what are you going to do? Well, like Riyadh here, you have it painted gold, of course.
It's quite expensive, but it's cool. Finishing was amazing, so I just love it.
Not the shyest of multimillionaires, Riyadh just likes to see his golden gas guzzler fawned over by the adoring masses.
It's cool. I like seeing people smiling, entertaining people when they see the gold, so it's awesome, you know.
And if anyone were to suggest it's perhaps just a little bit over the top.
I'm 5-time world champion in kickboxing. I'm originally from Iraq, but I live in London. You know?
These tricked-out me machines have become bigger celebrities than their multimillionaire owners. Trending online is the Tron Lamborghini. And putting the austere in steering wheel, the Velvet Ferrari.
You do see a lot of personalised cars that have their own initials in the headrest, they have their initials on the car, and they really make it their own car.
I had it wrapped and detailed exactly as I wanted. It was originally silver, but I had it done white with like the black and red detailing and the wheels and all that. Brand new, it was just over 100 grand, but now it's probably about half that.
Oops, even for the super wealthy, spending heaps of money to make your car less sellable, but you more attractive, well, it's an expensive way to go about the mating game. And not everyone is after a kiss and a £250,000 lift home. Billionaires beware British bobbies and their weapons of mass humiliation. The annual Harrods Grand Prix is formula fun for the billionaire boy racers. The only trouble is the Sloane Street Straight isn't really a racetrack. Never mind, should polish out. Perhaps take the chance to get it plated platinum whilst you're at it. For the billionaire who prefers to marvel rather than mangle, there's a far less physical pain to be borne in high-end motor acquisition. If you want the contents of your garage to trump all competition, you must suffer the pain that hurts the hyper-rich deepest, the pain of becoming significantly poorer. It's August 2014, and the bids for this car, a 1962 Ferrari GTO, are increasing by $1 million a pop.
29 million, 30 million I have.
The world record for the most expensive car ever sold at auction
24,500,000
is about to be broken.
$24,650,000. Last chance. You own the car.
The mystery phone bidder has agreed to pay $39 million. That's £23 million for the Ferrari. It's a new world record and a huge sum to swallow.
There is no doubt that it's very simple to track the results of auctions over the last 3 or 4 years, and one can see very clearly how the values of these cars have been shooting up and up and up. Historic motor cars have appreciated just over 450%, which is huge, absolutely massive.
Blenheim Palace, Oxfordshire, and a high-end classic car auction has once again brought out the hyper-wealthy big hitters.
150 new money, 160,
170
170 here in the room.
Classic car auctioneer Chris Routledge is familiar with the new breed of big money buyers.
There are some clients who will be quite nonchalant and will say, buy it. And that's an open-ended instruction to buy it. And if you've got another competing bidder who equally has an open-ended instruction to buy it, you do get fireworks.
At 50,000, now 52.
For the ultra-high net worth toy consumer, the competitive irritation of being pushed to astronomical bids by others equally determined is somewhat offset by a rather wonderful tax loop now working in their favour.
On my left, I'm asking for 60.
Wine, watches and cars are known as deteriorating assets. Except if anyone's actually looked and noticed that the only deteriorating asset has actually gone up in value massively in the last 10 years.
But car collecting is not without its snags. Paul Bailey owns one of Britain's most valuable collections of supercars.
It is just absolutely fantastic to come down here and think, wow, how cool is that car and how lucky am I to have one.
Or 39. For Paul, when it comes to hoarding rich list runarounds, well, more
Ferrari Enzo
is more.
So this is my Lamborghini, my Aventador, Ferrari 360 Spider
is even more.
Cars that are in most collections, often they're locked away, wrapped up in cotton wool, people don't get to see them, they don't get driven, may literally just sit in someone's collection, gathering dust, waiting for the day when that person can double or triple or quadruple their investment.
But Paul has succumbed to another affliction that can ensnare the super-rich car collector.
My wife's California. This is a 360 Challenge Stradale.
But here's the problem. At which point does a quirky, horribly expensive passion turn a wealthy, sane man into a full-blown petrol head case?
This is Volcano Red, pearlescent orange, metallic yellow. I'm not afraid of a nice yellow on a car.
Is it this point?
Metallic silver. I needed to have a black one.
How about now?
16M SLS Spiker.
Paul is addicted to buying supercars. It's as simple as that. At least his wife Selena has a good grip on his mounting obsession.
Well, surely you don't need that many cars. You don't need that many shoes, you don't need that many handbags, you don't need a lot of things in life. But it is our passion. And we love to have the amount of cars we have, and hopefully some more in the future.
What do you do when a new one comes out? You really try hard not to buy it, but then you think, well, I'll just buy one of those, and that's a really cool car to have.
Porsche, Ferrari, and the rest will make sure that Paul's ravenous desire can never be sated, because Paul is their perfect customer.
The dealer's now telling me that the GT3 RS is coming out any moment now, and then that's going to be a car I'm going to have, because currently my GT3 RSs are manual, and the new ones are PDK. This is a ridiculous addiction. In some ways, I think it is as bad as alcohol, drugs, or gambling. I could probably have some sort of medical help from somebody.
Paul's supercar habit would ruin most people, but as the value of his collection keeps on rising...
F40, it's gone up 7 times since I bought it.
This is perhaps the only known addiction that pays for itself. In the end, every toy has its day. There will always be a newer, brighter bauble to tickle a billionaire's passing fancy.
Are the super rich happier? Probably happier than the super poor. I mean, you know, you can safely say that. But we have to ask why the accumulation of wealth is the main driver in their life.
In my experience, the more money people have, the more problems they have, especially if you've come across a lot of money very quickly. Who am I now?
People get trapped by the trappings of their wealth, boats and their
planes that all have to be taken care of, and it isn't freedom at all.
I think the very, very rich have always had something to prove. The thing that's pushing them forward is probably insecurity, making up for something their dad once said to them, some need to fulfill some desire to prove something to the world. So are they happy? No. And that's what drives them on.